Hello everyone. So today I'm at the Fairchild Botanical Garden and I just purchased my ticket. It's absolutely beautiful here already, just by the look of it. It's my first time here, so when I was buying my ticket, they gave me some suggestions for places to visit. So I'll show you on the map real quick. Currently, at the entrance, and they told me there's a tram coming in about 40 minutes, so I could take that and it'll take me around the entire park.
Remember, I call this area the uplands. This section is also called the Arboretum. And all that means is that they plant according to plant families. Now I'm going to show you a plant family, but first we have got to get up Mount Miami. And this is my third trip up, and it did happen one time. So I'm going to warn you, if I can't get up Mount Miami, you're going to have to get out and push. I get to steer. Take a look to the left, that multicolored tree, that's called a rainbow eucalyptus. This particular tree came from Malaysia, but most of them come from Australia. The coloration is oil coming out of the bark, interacting with the air. Now I'm going to show you a plant family. Look to your left where you see the rock wall right here, little one. This area right here is designated for the aromatics. That means they smell good. Now there are two large trees on left and right. Now look at the large one on the left. I'm not going to talk about that tree at this time because I'm going to show you another one later on. But just remember the name Cannonball and compare this tree to the one I show you later. Now to the right, that brown swirl tree is called an allspice tree. At home, I don't cook, I clean. So I always thought allspice meant it was a whole bunch of spices mixed together. Now, be honest. How many thought allspice was a mixture of spices? Yay! You guys clean more than you cook, right?
No.
Or not cook at all?
We cook.
Oh, you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, what they do is they take the seeds from the tree, they grind it into a powder, and it smells like a mixture of spices.
Wow.
To the right, this building is not historic. It was built about 8 years ago. It's called the Rose McQuillan Art Center, and it was designed for special events. I'm pointing the building out due to its architectural style, flat tile roof, wooden shutters, and the walls are stone. That is the architectural style of William Lyman Phillips. He was the landscape architect that designed and created our garden. He also created Masson Hammock next door, Grinnell's Park in the north, Crandon Park Beach in the south. He also worked with another world-famous landscape architect. His name was Frederick Olmsted. That's O-L-M. There's no H there. What is Frederick Olmsted most famous for?
Central Park.
There you go, Central Park in New York.
You got two for two. Look at two for two. I missed on allspice.
We won't hold
All right, now, coming up, take a look to the right. You're going to see the largest tree in the garden. It's an albizia.
So sweet.
And it's the tallest albizia in the state of Florida. Now, just like the building, that tree has only been there about 8 years.
Wow.
It was on the other side of the wall. 8 years ago, they transplanted it to this side. I'm going to stop up here, and I'm going to show you a picture of them transplanting that tree.
Kind of garden. Yes.
All right, let me first show you that picture. All right, now, don't get nervous, but now I'm going to ask you a United States history question. Uh-oh. You ready? At the beginning of the 1930s, there was a great event. What was it?
The Great Depression?
Yeah, I saw your lips first. All right, you get a prize. These are biodegradable leaves. They are embedded with herb seeds. The planting instructions are in there and this description. When they grow up, think of me.
Oh,
Good.
thank you.
All right. Now, many people lost their jobs. So President Roosevelt created many programs to give people jobs. One was the CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps. That gave men and women jobs throughout the United States working in parks and gardens. Luckily, Phillips happened to be the project manager. So he got them to work next door, and then he brought them here. They built the walls, the pools, and they built that vine pergola on your right. That's 560 feet long. It houses flowering tropical vines. Now, the only original part of the pergola are the stone columns. That's limestone. Now, that limestone was quarried just 10 minutes north of here. When you leave and you go around the circle and you get back onto Lejeune Road, start looking to your right, you'll see a sign that says Merry Christmas Park. That's where they quarried the stone. Look at the property. It's very deep where they took the stone out. Okay? All right. They also built the Victoria Amazonica pool on your left. Victoria Amazonica is a South American lily pad. Now, you see the super large ones? Yes. Those are Victoria Amazonicas. The others are not. All right? Now, those are babies, by the way. Let me show you a grown-up Victoria Amazonica.
Oh, wow.
They get up to 10 feet in diameter. Their stems can be as long as 26 feet. There are thorns underneath to keep fish and animals from eating the plant. More interesting, however, it blooms 2 nights in a row. The first night, the flower is white, female. It has an odor similar to pineapple that attracts the scarab beetle. The beetle goes down into the flower to pollinate. The flower closes up and traps the beetle. The next night, the flower turns purple. It is now a male flower, having produced pollen. It opens back up, releases the beetle to go pollinate another flower. Isn't that cool? Now, if you want to see it on YouTube, I've already QR coded it. One code shows you how they grow, the other how it blooms both nights. So at the end of the tour, ask me for this. All right, we have 3 desert areas, 3 arid plots. Coming up are 2 of those plots. The one on the right represents the Caribbean, North and South America. The one on the left is called the Lynn-Lockheed Spiny Forest of Madagascar. Madagascar is the 4th largest island off the east coast of Africa. As part of conservation, the garden went to Madagascar, brought these plants back to preserve them for the future. All right, you guys are very lucky because this tree is still in fruit. Take a look at this tree that's closest to us. Right here. This is called a bilimbi, B-I-L-I-M-B-I, or cucumber tree. Now, I am going to now teach you a new word. You ready for it? The word is cauliflorus. It's spelled like cauliflower, cauliflorus. And all that means is the fruit and the flower grow from the trunk of the tree, not from the branches. See how the fruit's growing from the trunk? You see the fruit on the ground, the yellow fruit? That's carambola or star fruit. Carambola is also cauliflower. It grows from the trunk. All right, now, and it is edible. I've met a Latin man who said he put it in his rice. It's kind of like a citrus flavor, but rather tart. Okay? Now, coming up, I want to show you a baby tree. And I'm going to warn you, do not blink, because you might miss this baby tree. It's going to be on the right. I will warn you when we get there, just in case you blink. Here we go.
Nunca vi fruta en el tronco. Qué lindo.
No blink now.
Nice one.
And here it is. This is our baby tree.
Where? Baobab.
And guys, this is a baby.
Oh.
I promise, it is a baby. I'll tell you, I'll explain why. This is called a baobab. B-A-O-B-A-B. These trees come from Australia, Saudi Arabia, Africa, and Madagascar. However, this tree came from David Fairchild's property. So I'm going to show you a picture of David planting this tree. Here it is, 1938. A little bit smaller. Okay? Now, this tree is about 90 years old, but it is a baby. They went to South Africa, they did some radiocarbon testing, and they found one to be 2,500 years old. That's why I call this one a baby. Now, this is not the typical tree. There are no wood rings inside. There's a fiber in there that collects water like a sponge. Elephants will gore the tree to get water out. In South Africa, they hollow these trees out. They'll make an apartment out of it. By the way, it doesn't hurt the tree. They'll make an apartment out of it. They made a jail out of one. I met somebody who went to church in one. There's also one in Limpopo, South Africa, that's so large they made a bar out of it. So let me show you that tree. Now I'm going to flip it so that you get the idea of its actual size.
Holy cow.
Okay? All right, now they take the bark and they'll make rope and medicine out of it. They cook the leaves and they eat it like spinach, and it does produce a fruit. This is a fruit from the tree. This is immature. A mature fruit gets to be about that size. It feels like velvet on the outside, 30 seeds on the inside. They roast and eat the seeds, but more interesting, they take the seeds and they grind it into a powder. Now that powder is high in vitamins and minerals, and it's used as a food supplement. All right, now remember the architectural style? Same style for this building on the right, but this building is historic. This is the first building constructed at Fairchild in 1939. It was for the night watchman, and it's called the guardhouse. Keep looking to the right. You're going to see a black wrought iron gate. Right here on your right. This is called the Phillips Gate. This is the original entrance that was used by the garden. What Phillips wanted to do, as people entered the garden, he wanted to wow them. So let's find out how they did that. He did that. They walked through the gate. Now look to your left, and this is what they first saw. Okay, this is called the Allee, A-L-L-E-E. That is French for shaded walk. You'll see the rock wall. That's the end of the Allee. And you'll see that's our largest lake in the lowlands. I'm going to take you on the other side of that lake later on. We have two butterfly gardens. On the left here is our outdoor butterfly garden. It attracts some 50 Florida native species. We also have an indoor butterfly garden called Wings of the Tropics. Those are exotic butterflies coming from North, South America, Mexico, Asia, and Africa. When we get there, I'll show you where it is. We have our third arid plot coming up on the right. Now, a lot of these are agave. What do they make from agave? Anybody?
Tequila.
Thank you. And don't forget mezcal. All right, now the garden was designed to be informal. We only have one formal section coming up on the left where you see the railing. This is called the Bailey Palm Glade. It was named after Liberty Hyde Bailey, who was called the father of modern horticulture. Now, this was dedicated in 1942. there's a plaque down on the ground for the dedication. Now, there's a story about the palm glade. David called William, and he said, William, I've been thinking about the design of the garden, and I think we ought to have a palm glade. And William asked David, what is a palm glade? And David's answer was, I don't know. It's a good word. Let's go with it. He made the word up, people. All right, so this is what Phillips came up with. This is probably one of the favorite spots for weddings.
That's the spot for it. So beautiful.
All right, we're coming into the rainforest now. There are a lot of orchids in the rainforest, but please don't just look here. Look throughout the garden. We have some 50,000 orchids at Fairchild. Or 40,000, sorry, 40,000. All right, now the garden is not changing its name, but they do want to be known as the National Orchid Garden, meaning they want to have the largest collection of orchids in the Western Hemisphere right here at Fairchild. There's another project. 100 years or more ago, Dade County used to have native orchids throughout the county, but unfortunately people collected them to extinction. So the garden is now propagating Florida native orchids. Their goal is to put 1 million orchids back into the entire county. So far, they have put out 500,000 orchids. They're halfway there. Look to your left in the building, the white light, that's the Million Orchid Lab. Where you see the green umbrella, that's the indoor butterfly garden, Wings of the Tropics. Now, the green building on your right, this is another project. They're working with NASA. This is called Growing Beyond Earth. When the astronauts go to Mars, they're going to be eating freeze-dried foods. So they're not going to get all the nutrients they need. So they're going to have to grow and eat plants. So with the help of some 310 middle schools, high schools throughout the United States, they're trying to determine what best grows in space and how to grow it. Right now, we actually have 4 plants from Fairchild that are on the space station. I note the names of 2 of them, Dracoon lettuce and extra dwarf bok choy. Here comes Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. She was just visiting with this gentleman. She's sitting on the bench. That was her actual size. She lived to be 108 years old. She lived just north of here. During her time, people said the Everglades was a swamp, just drain it. So she wrote a book called Everglades River of Grass. That book made people realize that the Everglades is a river, and that river provides the drinking water for all South Florida. Underneath us is limestone. That limestone stores and filters our water from the Everglades. It's called the Biscayne Aquifer. Now, we have people from Florida, so I have a question. What is the original source of water for the Everglades?
Rain.
Not rain. It's in the middle of the state.
Okeechobee.
Yeah, you got it. Lake Okeechobee. All right, now, this is a harder question. What is the original source of water for Lake Okeechobee? Uh-oh, that's harder. All right, I'll tell you. It's called Shingle Creek. If you want to look it up, look under Shingle Creek State Park. It's located next to the Peabody Hotel in Disney World. To the right, this is our cycad circle. All of these are cycads except the big one. That is a ponytail palm. And it's really not a palm, it's in the succulent family. And that was a gift from a couple. You might have heard of them. Their names were Mamie and Ike Eisenhower. Remember I told you he worked for the government? He met Dwight Eisenhower before he became president, and they were close friends. And they were here at the dedication. Now, the rest of these plants in the circle are cycads. These are the second oldest plant on Earth. They appeared 300 million years ago. and that's before the dinosaurs. They are cone-bearing. Cones come in many sizes, shapes, and colors, and cones will either be male or female. Let me show you a cone. Look to the left, that dark green cycad right over there. Take a look at that cone. Everybody see the cone? Here, you see how everything is growing from the trunk of the tree. All right, remember I showed you another tree and I said, remember the name? This is the other cannonball. Very fragrant, and it does produce a fruit same size and looks just like a cannonball. There are some 2,000 species of palms in the world. Our garden has 500 species. And I've got to warn you, never say palm tree.
Oh.
It is not a tree. It's in the grass family. So you just say palm. All right? There are 4 differences. Palms have shallow roots. Palms do not have bark. If you cut the top of a palm off, it dies, and palms don't have leaves. They've got fronds. F-R-O-N-D-S, fronds. Before the garden was developed, this was an orchard. I want to show you a tree that was here when this was an orchard. To the right, in front of the Glass House Cafe, that very large tree. That is a sapodilla. It produces a fruit called sapote. More interesting, however, is the Mayans learned how to take the sap of the tree and they created chewing gum. What did the Mayans call that gum?
Chicle.
Thank you. Now, you Spanish people, that is not a Spanish word. That is a Mayan word. So you didn't know you spoke Mayan. Remember chiclets?
Yeah. Remember those?
Yeah. We're getting ready now to go down Mount Miami. But first, take a look at the glass tower on your right.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's by the world famous Dale Chihuly, glass blower. Now we have 4 of his art pieces in the garden. If you go to the Glass House Cafe, look at the chandelier. Go next door to the Rare Plant Conservatory. There's another glass tower. And go to the Founder's Pool at the south gate. In the pool are cobalt heron. We're now entering the lowlands. Now we're, this is 58 acres. Before they developed it, this was all mangrove swamp. Take a look at this view now. This is one of 11 man-made lakes. The Civilian Conservation Corps dug these lakes. It took them 10 years. When you have water, you're going to have fish, turtles, and you're going to have animals. We have fish, turtles, all kinds of birds. We've got crocodiles. Unfortunately, however, you're probably not going to see a crocodile. It's just too hot. All right, so I will share something with you, but before I do, take a look to your left. You see the goose right there? That's an Egyptian goose. Just flew in from Egypt. Now, do not try to talk to him because he only understands Arabic.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, now, remember I told you about crocodiles? Now, you most likely won't see one, so let me share something with you. There was a volunteer on a golf cart. He was going around the curve just ahead of us. He stopped and he took this picture.
Oh.
He's going into this lake.
So ugly, those things.
Oh my God.
Now, this water used to be all
Meaner than
fresh.
alligators.
Now it's
Much.
brackish. That means it's part salt, part fresh. So the alligators moved out because they like fresh water. Crocodiles moved in because they like salt water. We have rats, raccoons, snakes, lizards, squirrels. We've got it all. We also have the world famous iguana. Today is your lucky day. Today is giveaway Iguana Day. You can take as many home as you can catch. I had somebody on my tour that ate them. She said that they taste like chicken, but they have the texture of crab. Why are we giving them away?
Because you have too many.
They're invasive
There
and
you go.
they eat plants.
They eat everything.
Yes.
They eat the leaf.
All right, now to the right, these are mangroves. There are 4 varieties of mangroves: red, black, white, and buttonwood. The government protects the mangroves because their roots grow in the water, providing a safe place for young fish, crustaceans, and other organisms to grow. They also help with erosion. They will create islands. Now, have some of you been to Miami Beach?
Yes.
Okay. At one time, Miami Beach was all mangrove swamp. I'm going to show you a picture of Miami Beach in the 1920s. Here it is. They're clearing it out.
Wow.
Yep, you found it, I know. Okay.
That was so beautiful.
Okay. Now, the government protects the mangroves. You and I can't even touch them. You're not allowed to trim them without a permit. And to get a permit, good luck.
How deep are mangrove roots?
As deep as the water.
Oh, so the
Yeah.
guys who cleared it out didn't
Yeah.
have that much trouble.
Yeah, oh, you don't want to clear it. You can't clear them out.
No, I
You're
said
not allowed.
original Miami Beach. That tragedy.
Oh yeah. Well, you can see the picture how they were just cutting them to the ground.
Yeah,
That was before they realized how important they were.
exactly. That they
All
were
right.
our protection.
All right, we're turning to the right now. We're now entering the bamboo area. David said bamboo was the prettiest and most useful of plants. There's over 1,000 uses for bamboo. Now, just like the palm,
That's yours.
bamboo is in the grass family. There is a bamboo in Japan called mendake. It grows up to 36 inches in one day. I was talking about
That's one of my
mangroves. They
favorite.
form a
Me
pod.
too.
The pod will fall into the water. If it's shallow,
He's a
it will
true
take
genius.
root. If not,
is a true
it will
genius. That
continually
one is a
float
true
until it reaches some form of soil. Those pods have been known to float across the Atlantic Ocean before taking root.
Wow.
Now take a look. Coming up, you'll see a yellow sign. Look across the water from the yellow sign, and you'll see how the roots of the mangrove grow in the water. These are not bushes, these are trees. Now, you see how dirty the water looks? It's really not dirty. That is tannic acid coming from the roots of the tree. When you drink tea, you're drinking tannic acid. You'll see the palm right to my right, directly. Now, this palm looks like it has a petticoat.
Yeah.
What do they call that palm?
Petticoat palm.
Thank you. All right, look to your right. This is juniper. Now, and this is in the cypress family. When it's in fruit, the berries are very, very tiny and blue, and there are millions of them. They use those berries to flavor gin. They also put it in an Italian wine-like drink called grappa. The Italians also use it as a seasoning for cooking, and it's also put in sauerkraut. Beautiful tree to the right. This is called mesquite. The Texas mesquite is the wood used for barbecuing. Now, what's unusual about this tree is the taproot can go as deep as 150 feet in search of water. Biscayne Bay is to your right, and I showed you the largest lake on the left. Look across the water, and you'll see the rock wall of the Ali.
Yeah, the
We're entering the palm savanna. These are palms that like to grow near the water. Special palm coming up on the right. It looks like it has spikes halfway down, right here. This is native to Brazil. This is called a carnauba wax palm. They use that wax to make carnauba car wax. Brazilians use it as a furniture polish. It also coats your gummy bears, your medicine pills, and your Tic Tacs. And they also coat your M&Ms. Now I'm going to show you my all-time favorite palm. I have 5 of them in my yard. There are 3 of them grouped together, coming up. These 3 right here. Everybody see the 3 I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. These palms are from Cuba.
Oh.
Now, I have to turn around because here comes that question. Do not disappoint me this time. You ready?
Right.
What do they call a palm that looks like it has a beard?
Bearded palm.
Great. And you're all wrong.
Oh.
I set you up.
Cuban.
That's called an old man palm.
Oh.
I have a beard. I'm old. It's my favorite palm. Palma Vieja. All right, now I'm going to show you another unusual palm on the corner. Right here, on your right, this is called Hyphene. This is native to northern Africa. There are pictures of these palms in the tombs of the pharaohs, right next to my picture. Now, it does produce a fruit. The fruit is about that size. It's bright orange, and you can eat the flesh. And the flesh smells like gingerbread. So they call this the gingerbread palm. And you know most palms have a single trunk, but look here. This one splits into a V. Left and right, this is called pine rockland. Hundreds of years ago, we used to have thousands and thousands of acres of pine rockland. Unfortunately, we have less than 2% remaining. Coming up on the left, this tree with a beautiful root. This is a ceiba. Now, the ceiba, I've been told, is the sacred tree of Cuba. This particular ceiba is called a kapok tree. It produces a hard seed cover. Inside is a white fiber, looks like cotton. At one time, they used that fiber to stuff pillows, mattresses, and life vests. Now, this is another ceiba on your right. We can proudly say this is the only ceiba in the world that stares right back at you.
There it is.
Now, as we turn to the right, you'll see all these trunks on the corner. This is not many trees. This is only one tree. It's called a banyan. Now, do you see the area? It looks like hair. Those are aerial roots. When they touch the ground, they're going to form another trunk. These trees are so invasive, they are illegal to plant in Miami-Dade County. The largest one in the world is in Calcutta, India. It's over 400 acres and over 1,000 trunks.
Yeah, that is.
Now there's a little a brown building right over here on your right. Now you'll see that big tree right behind it. That's from the Everglades. It's called a bald cypress. Now as we get around the building, you're going to see protrusions around the tree. Those are called cypress knees. Those knees help to support the tree and get air down into the roots.
Oh. Look at that.
We're turning to the right. You'll see the area right here on the right corner. This is an all-natural area, not planted by the garden. This is called a hammock. The word hammock is a Native American word meaning island of land. And because the island is above the water level, it allows hardwood trees to grow. Here we have live oak, mahogany, gumbo limbo. If you don't know what a gumbo limbo looks like, look to your left. That big red tree looks like it's sunburned.
Oh, wow.
And it will peel like a sunburn.
Wow.
That is a Florida native tree. trees. All right, now you'll see the rock wall of the elite. That now you can see the 17-foot elevation. This does end our tour. I hope we have a better understanding and appreciation for the garden. You've been a fun group.